Welcome to the Reddit Chronicles. Today we will be reading from Today I F'd Up. Our first post is by Doobie Tiger. Today I F'd up by letting my boyfriend's horrific personal hygiene run our relationship. I have been with my boyfriend, 22M, for over 2 years now. I first noticed he didn't have good personal hygiene before we even got together. I noticed he smelled sometimes. He is the loveliest guy and has the sweetest heart, so I could see past the bad sweat. After a few months of being together, I noticed it was much more. For example, his oral hygiene is awful. He barely brushes his teeth, only when I remind him. He says he does, but the plaque and state of his teeth says otherwise, starting to decay at the bottom on a few of them. Also, this one affects me the most, but he doesn't wipe his butt properly at all after going to the loo. I tried to forget about it the first couple times and put it to an accident. He used to dirty my sheets when he slept over my house, but then it started to get worse where I'd have to wash my sheets pretty much every week, which was expensive for me as a student. I talked to him about this crying and said how it affects me and how he needs to sort it ASAP. This was 5 months into our relationship when I said this. We are over 2 years now and he still does it. I have had this conversation with him so many times I can't count. He says he will change it and that he is trying. To be honest, I have seen some improvement from what it used to be like, but it's still happening. For your information, he is a large guy, so I can understand it may be difficult to reach around there, but it's been too long. I reckon if he lost some weight it would help. He has been trying to lose weight for the past 8 months, but I am not really seeing any change. I am assuming because his diet hasn't changed. I've been trying to support him through this too. I'd really appreciate some help with how to get some change. Maybe I'm not saying the right thing. It's like he doesn't care about it enough to stop it. It's as though he is comfortable being gross. I don't understand. Our next post is by Extra Rate. Today I F'd up by staying in touch with my psych ward friend. A few months ago I was in the youth psych ward due to depression. I met a girl who would always listen and be super nice to me, but also tell me unsettling things like having abused animals in her childhood, being able to turn her empathy off, wanting to hurt her parents and stuff like that. I was bored and suicidal, thrilled by this unique friendship and thinking nothing of it since we were locked in anyway. However, soon after my release she successfully contested her court order and was discharged against medical advice. We continued to text after that. I realized I was the only person she could confide in and felt bad for her. She would tell me about how bad she was doing and about her suicidal thoughts. Until one day, she sent a voicemail telling me she was planning a whole rampage to hurt all the people that had wronged her. Alarmed, I went to the police who, after questioning me, paid her a visit. They called me and said they didn't think she was a danger at all and was probably just angry when saying that. Naturally, she concluded that it was me who had betrayed her, but I tried my best to convince her it had probably been my parents who had checked my phone and reported it, and she at least pretended to believe me. Fast forward to today, I suddenly noticed a photo she had sent without any context. When I clicked on it, my jaw dropped. It showed her posing with bloody hands and face, a lighter in her hand, and a burning stove in the background. I concluded the worst and went to the police ASAP. After further questioning, they told me they had already known about it, and that she had caused a decent fire in an apartment block and smashed some windows after a fight with her parents. Fortunately, no one besides her was hurt. They thanked me for providing them with further proof and told me she would probably go back to the psych ward. When I left the interview room, I honestly couldn't believe my eyes when I saw her, sitting in the hallway, looking at the floor. Our gaze met, and I think we were equally shocked before I quickly walked away. I feel like I'm in deep trouble. Eventually, she will be released again, and there's no denying now that I snitched on her. I have no trust in the judicial system's judgment anymore. The policeman told me she might be a danger to me, but she'll be locked up for a while now, and if the smallest thing happens, I can just call 911. This is your sign to not stay in touch with the suspect psych ward friend, because that story might not end well, but I hope mine does. Our next post is by Your Infidelity in Me. Today I F'd up. I hooked up with a dude who cannot keep a personal calendar. Why do I feel like I'm in a hostage situation? Maybe it's because I partially am. I had exchanged messages with this Tinder daddy for a few weeks. He's reasonably attractive, and I overlooked the slight age difference because I've never really hooked up with a guy in the suburbs before. I thought it would be a neat experience that doesn't involve a hotel or co-op condo situation with awkward elevator rides or run-ins with neighbors. He was alone this week, so I said why not. The Uber ride was going to be expensive, but he was okay getting me a ride to and from the city. I got here shortly after 5 p.m. when he came home from the office. We had fun. All was good. We were lying in bed, sweaty and exhausted, when a stupid wind chime sound on his phone alerted him someone pulled up his driveway. Turns out he installed those Ring spy cam things around his property. He told me to get dressed and stay absolutely quiet in the walk-in closet. He asked me to keep my phone with me on silent and wait for his text. He told me he was going to check out who it was and text me when it was all clear. I'm not gonna lie, my heart was pounding because he made it sound like we were about to be burglarized. Then I got the text that it was his son. He had just pulled up with a U-Haul. His son had quit his job last month in anticipation for school after the summer and had planned to move home in the interim to save some money before law school. My Tinder friend knew this, but he thought it was next Wednesday. Maybe he should work on communication with his child, or maybe his son should communicate more. It's common courtesy to text or call your parents before you friggin' drive up with a U-Haul. So how was I supposed to leave? He asked me to wait here in the master bedroom, stay completely quiet, keep my phone on silent, and wait for his text. His son wouldn't come in. He disabled the Ring alarms. He would text as soon as there is an opportunity for me to walk out when his son is in the bathroom. He instructed me to walk straight to a specific corner of the park nearby, and he'd call an Uber for me. I've read all the New York Times articles I can read. They are still moving boxes from the sounds of it. So now I'm on Reddit killing time. It's been 2 hours. Help me. Our next post is by Squinla. Today I effed up by not unsubscribing from a questionable dating site. My wife, 32F, and I, 31M, are putting the final touches of our honeymoon, a wonderful and exciting time until my inadvertent screw-up from years past returned to haunt me. If my title and first paragraph aren't indication enough of this screw-up, allow me to explain. I promise I am not cheating scum. What a way to start a post. 7-ish years ago, I was a single, horny man, living it up in the big city, trying just about every dating site out there. The classics Tinder and Bumble, the old school Plenty of Fish and OkCupid, and the questionable Adult Friend Finder, among others. When I started dating my now wife, as most should, I deactivated all, or what I thought was all of my dating profiles. Fast forward to today, and as we are booking hotels and transportation for our honeymoon next month, I am looking for a discount code for one of the hotels. I go to check my junk folder, and there are 4 emails just from today from Adult Friend Finder. Cindy Milfy is checking out your profile. Tessie Kitty XX is checking out your profile. What's so great about threesomes are just some of the wonderful subject lines my wife saw while standing over my shoulder. Since I never really check my junk folder, pay much attention to what's in there, and don't get any of those notifications I never noticed. Well, as you can imagine, this quickly sucked all of the magic of planning a honeymoon out of the room faster than Harry Potter in front of a Death Eater. Cue the next hour of me trying to explain this fuck up without much success, going as far as having to reset my password to log in and show here there has been 0 activity, ever, and finally doing what I should have done long ago and unsubscribing from that stupid site. I'm still not sure I've convinced her, but hope that the extra money I spent on the hotel room upgrade is at least a start to bringing the honeymoon magic back, though I suspect I'll be in the doghouse a while longer yet. Thank you for listening to the Reddit Chronicles. Follow for more content.